Greetings, Modernism and the Museum students. I hope this finds you well. Happy Friday. I hope the week has been a good one for you. This will be the last Friday thoughts that I will share with you based on new weekly content. Next week, I'll give you my Friday final thoughts for our 8-week journey. I come to you still from New York. Have patience with me as I continue to respond to your prompts over the last few weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing your papers. Today I want to talk with you a little more in depth about a project that I did with two artists at the Sheldon Museum of Art called Losing Our Instructions, in which two artists, Barbara Kendrick and Timothy Van Laar, who happen to be faculty colleagues in the art department at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana, collaborated with me on a project in which they did research on our collection. And I had received funding. I applied to the Luce Foundation to receive funding to stimulate and deepen research on the Sheldon's collection of American art. And that research support took several forms. One took an exhibition. One was a collaborative exhibition with the Addison Gallery of American Art, with the director Adam Weinberg, who is now the director of the Whitney. It also consisted of inviting visiting lecturers to come and lecture about particular works in our collection and how those works have facilitated their research. But one of the things I was interested in doing was to be able to offer something outside of the box and something that was different than what was conventionally understood as research by a curator or an art historian. I was interested in how studio artists and artistic practice as a form of research. And so I asked these two artists if they would be interested in doing research on the collection. And what they proposed was that their research would consist of selecting works of art and using those works of art from our collection as the medium of their artistic practice. So both of them, working collaboratively and separately, explored our permanent collection and utilized works in order to create their own unique installations. And their installation work utilized as the foundation the works from our collection. So the works of art then were part of another work of art. And so what took place in the exhibition were two installations in which the works from our collection were installed and displayed in different ways. Some of the prints or paintings were set up against the wall on the floor, or they were exhibited low towards the floor. Other sculptures were placed directly on the floor. Barbara Kendrick used works and reproduced them to serve as reproduce their designs as wallpaper that wallpapered a particular environment in which she presented her own original work, but in conversation with the work from our collection. And so what it did was it generated and catalyzed these works of art as means of further artistic practice. And it raises an important question, or it raises an important insight, I think, regarding the impact that museum exhibitions and exhibitions in general have on artistic practice, that artists are influenced by the work of artists that they see at the Met or at the LACMA or at any museum. And so the means by which an artist approaches the work is not going to be curatorial. It's not going to be art historical. So as we've talked about curatorial scholarship and its relationship to art historical scholarship, this project reveals another form of scholarship, and that's creative scholarship. That's aesthetic scholarship. Neither Kendrick nor Van Laar were interested in historical research necessarily. What they were interested in was the work participating aesthetically and creatively as they produced an original aesthetic experience in those spaces. And so our works, the works from the permanent collection of the Sheldon, became clearly influences for these artists to produce works of art that they could not have produced, these installations, without the collection. And so it emphasizes, I think, the important role that that museum collections can play, museum exhibitions play on artistic practice. So I hope these thoughts are helpful to you, and I wish you a good weekend, and let me know if you have any questions, particularly about your final papers. I'm looking forward to reading them, and it has been a privilege to have guided you and facilitated you on this very short 8-week journey. Take care.